The value of XRP was reported to be $22,656,481 today in the news. We are witnessing yet another significant XRP pricing glitch, and it appears that these errors are becoming more valuable over time as we move closer to the significant transition from the previous monetary system to the new one. This is the reason why it is such a significant piece of news. This is because to the fact that these issues take place exclusively with XRP, and they are occurring far too frequently, more frequently than they ever have previously, for it to be considered a possibility. There is a possibility that the markets are getting ready for a large number of individuals to begin utilizing XRP and are giving their approval to this development. Once Ripple is fully integrated into the back end of the new global financial system, it is also possible that this is a sign of how high XRP might go in the future. This is something that could be a possibility. The use cases for XRP are what allow it to function at its highest level. To reiterate, I believe that you should conduct your own study, but I believe that the BRICS nations and the emerging BRICS alliance are going to have a significant impact on how people use XRP in the future, as well as the price of the cryptocurrency. According to Saudi Arabia, this is yet another likely source and impact of these price variations, with Saudi Arabia initially bolstering its threats to sell debt are being made. Bloomberg reported earlier this year that Saudi Arabia had quietly stated that it would sell some European debt if the G7 decided to absorb almost $300 billion worth of Russia's frozen assets. This information was obtained from a report that was published by Bloomberg. The G7 has stated that this action was taken in order to assist Ukraine. Nonetheless, the Saudis continue to make their threat. It would appear that the BRICS Union is rapidly gaining power and influence, while the Western world is seeing a dramatic decline in its influence and power. Additionally, China and Kazakhstan have struck a contract that will allow their respective central banks to collaborate on the development of digital currencies. There is a lot of excitement surrounding the fact that Kazakhstan is included on the list of countries that will join the alliance before the year comes to a close. Furthermore, China is on the verge of introducing its very first Platinum Paladin futures contract, which would not only cover a gap in the Chinese market, but also serve as the mechanism for the global futures exchange GFEX. To obtain information regarding the prices of platinum and palladium in China, the fact that this would assist firms in protecting themselves against possible pricing fluctuations is really encouraging. We now have an understanding of some of the rapid developments that are taking place with BRICS at the moment. They are currently in the process of developing a new payment system that will utilize Ripple and XRP rather than the dollar and SWIFT. You should already be aware of this occurrence. It is during this conversation with Jim Rickards that he discusses something. It is of the utmost essential. The BRICS nations are currently imitating the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund IMF in their actions. In order to circumvent Western-controlled channels like a SWIFT, they are also replicating the Bretton Woods system and constructing fiber optic communication routes that are located beneath the ocean. Take a listen to this. However, these plans are of utmost significance. Additionally, in order to circumvent payment systems that are controlled by the West, such as SWIFT, they are in the process of conducting the construction of an undersea fiber optic communication cable. To put it another way, they are in the process of constructing their entire network, which includes the financial resources as well as the physical infrastructure. Since quite some time ago, this has been going on. Although the BRICS nations are currently receiving a great deal of attention, it is important to note that they did not suddenly decide to make significant adjustments to the monetary system in the previous year. This endeavour has been going on for more than 15 years now. However, it is essential that we pay attention to the BRICS Leaders Summit that is taking place. Over 100 times a year they get together to interact. They have smaller groups that devote their efforts to issues such as the rights of women, sports, gardening, climate change, and other related topics. As a result, this organisation has attained a high level of development and possesses a competent secretariat that will continue to expand. This is not to be taken lightly at all. In a sense, they are already ahead of the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and everybody else. As stated by X.Thankx in this interview and blog post, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development OECD all agree that we require a new Bretton Woods for digital banking, decentralised finance, crypto assets, and other related areas. Flexibility of capital flows, in part because of the significant instrument that was traditionally handled by MF, and in part handled by us as well. My opinion is that we should find a solution to this issue that involves nationality and country, and I believe that we need two different methods. That is to say, simultaneously working from the bottom up and the top down. In all honesty, we have witnessed that occur in significant moves. In order to make a joke, Matilde is aware that I believe we had a meeting at Bretton Woods as well. This is why I believe that we require something comparable to a new Bretton Woods for. It is necessary for us to have all of the players in the digital banking and decentralized finance industries, as well as 4 crypto assets and 4 CBDC. As a side note, this topic is also being discussed in other international forums. Nevertheless, I would suggest that the individuals comprised in these communities are distinct from one another. There are times when it is very evident that the macro stability aspect is the only or most important thing that central bankers and other individuals are concerned in, but in addition to that, there is also investment safety and micro stability. We are in desperate need of a wide, at least a location where we can gather all of the relevant people, such as legislators, regulators, and supervisors, in as many numbers as feasible, in order to formulate certain laws that can be implemented in a hierarchical fashion. It is my opinion that this is of utmost significance in order to avoid, for example, confrontations that, in that case, I believe that we might have been subjected to a great deal more than what we have experienced from time to time over the past 20 years. This is quite exciting for us since it indicates that the BRICS are the ones who are building it. As you may have heard, the leaders of the globe are in agreement that the Bretton Woods Agreement has to be updated and replaced. As I mentioned earlier, this is the activity that the BRICS are currently engaged in. In the future, BRICS will make advantage of Ripple and XRP. In my perspective, the most common and, in my opinion, the worst thing that a lot of people have said is that, due to the fact that the BRICS is an American company, they will not utilize Ripple's technology or XRP cryptocurrency. I have also seen that some of these comments have been made on my own post. Nevertheless, what you don't appear to be aware of or even consider is the fact that Ripple is no longer a firm that is based in the United States. It is headquartered in the United States, where it was founded, although the vast majority of their business is now conducted outside of the country. The SEC Ripple lawsuit has resulted in Ripple being a global firm, which is something that I believe to be a positive development. Quite possibly, this was done on purpose with the intention of facilitating a stronger relationship between the BRICS group and the West. However, that is not the most essential piece of information that you need to be aware of. The book Project Enbridge, which was published by the BIs, contains the true tale. The Federal Reserve, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and a large number of other central banks, as well as the majority of the BRICS countries, including China, are discussed in the white paper. In addition, the BIIS and the IMF have discussed China on multiple occasions. Stellar uses XRP and XLM as its currency. The goals of the BIs and the IMF are brought to fruition as a result of the technology that Ripple and Stellar provide, as well as the power that XRP and XLM possess. It is for this reason that all of this is conceivable. It is for this reason that you should not allow the FUD and shakeouts to affect you. There are a lot of people who are unaware of how significant this is. Ripple, XRP, XLM, and Stellar are all completely ready to be utilized by the entire world, including the BRICS nation and Enbridge. Additionally, as a result of this enormous relationship and connectivity, Ripple will serve as a currency that can be utilized by all CBDCs throughout the world, in addition to being the link between the BRICS and the European Union. The fluctuating